Till now, you know how to add numbers in Excel using different ways, using the sum function, the auto sum tool, and even how to add numbers manually. So now in this tutorial I will teach you how to use other common functions. So let's say we want to calculate the average of expenses for January, for example. Then we select cell A17. Let's type in average. We press the tab key to move to the next cell, and in order to calculate the average we will use the average function. So as indicated by its name, the average function will calculate the average of a given data. So we type in the equal sign, the name of the function, average, open up the parenthesis and select all these numbers. Now let's hit Ctrl Enter to stay in the same cell. We can use the autofill handle and drag to the right to calculate the average for February and for March. Another useful function is the max function, and the max function will give us or will return the highest value in a given data set. So let's try to calculate the highest expense for January. So we select cell A18, type in highest, press the tab key to move to the next cell, start with the equal sign, of course, write the name of the function, which is max, open up the parenthesis and choose this data set. So this will return the maximum value in this data set. So let's hit Ctrl Enter. So of course the maximum value here is 1100, which is our housing expense. We can autofill and drag to the right to calculate the highest expense for February and March. And of course, if the max function is used to calculate the highest, the function used to calculate the lowest will be the min function. So here we select A19, we type in lowest, we press the tab key, we type in the equal sign and the name of the function to find the lowest value, which is min. We open up the parenthesis, choose this data, press Ctrl Enter, and then we can autofill to the right to find the lowest expense for February and for March. So the last useful function that I will teach you in this tutorial is the count function. So the count function will count numbers, and so we'll count the number of cells that has filled in numbers inside of it. So let's press the tab key, we type in the equal sign, the name of the function, which is count, we open up the parenthesis and we choose this data. So of course, as you can see, we have here this data range from cell B5 to cell B14. That means in total we have 10 cells that contain numbers. So let's hit Ctrl Enter. So of course this will return the value 10, and if we autofill and drag to the right, this number will be the same, since the number of cells that contain data will not change. Now let's say, for example, in February we did not subscribe in any subscription, in any type of subscription. So let's delete this data here. So you can see the count will return 9 instead of 10, because this is not counted in the function. So it will only count the cells that contain numbers and will exclude empty cells. Okay. Finally, another method to use this function, we can use them by utilizing the auto sum. So let's, for example, delete this data, the average data, and select cell B17. If we go to the auto sum tool here, you can see this small down arrow if we click on it, so we'll have this menu that contains sum, average, count numbers, max, min. So these are like auto average, auto count, auto max, auto min. So let's click on average here. So it will automatically write in the average function for us. However, it will choose the wrong data, and we can correct this by dragging over the correct numbers and hit Ctrl Enter, and we can use autofill and drag to the right. So this method hopefully will save you some time. You can also use it to calculate the highest, for example, the highest value in a given data set. So let's delete these numbers, select cell B18, click on the downward arrow and choose max. So this is like auto max. Okay, of course it will write the function for us. However, Excel can't read our minds. It will maybe choose the wrong data, and we can correct this by dragging over the right data and hit Ctrl Enter, and we can autofill and drag to the right. So experiment with this and practice using the auto min and the auto count also. So those are the common functions used, and now you know how to use them in many different ways. They will help you to do your basic calculations in Excel.